Young People Who Rock. It's our weekly series featuring a different young person or people under 30 doing amazing things. Our young person who rocks this week is 29-year-old Aaron Arnold, the CEO of MusicIsMyBusiness.
Yes.
He joins us from the newsroom. Hey, Aaron, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about what you did outside of college. You graduated, you got a big fancy job in PR.
Right.
You were well paid, but that's not why you're here.
Right.
So
Right.
you looked at your life and you said, this is great.
Right.
I'm doing well. I have everything I want, but I'm not happy.
Right. And I mean, pretty much, you know, as I stated before, I asked myself if I could do something for free, what would it be? And music was just that common theme. So I just began to research, how do I get into the music business? And I had several mentors that kind of put the bug in my ear that said, Aaron, in order to get into the music business, to volunteer was the word that they used.
That means work for free.
Yeah, work for free. And I was like, what does that mean? I'm like, I've already been down that path. And but I was so not satisfied with what I was doing because I just felt in my heart that I wanted to do something bigger or something that I was really passionate about. So I kind of just made that leap of faith and took an internship at Bad Boy Records. And, you know, the rest is history, so to speak.
And what did you want to do when you were at Bad Boy Records besides, well, I'm sure you wanted to make money. You weren't
Right.
making money,
Right.
but you wanted to soak up everything you could?
I didn't go to Bad Boy for the money because I knew I wasn't going to get paid. You know, I don't think necessarily should do anything just for the money because I don't think you'll have the gratification. My goal was just to learn the music business, to see if it was a fit for me, to see if it was something I would love, and also from there eventually work for Sean Combs because I always wanted to be that next generation of executives in business and music. And who a better person to learn from than Mr. Combs?
And what did you learn from him?
Just execution. He works nonstop.
Some fashion sense as well.
Yeah,
I can see that right there.
His intensity is so amazing, and it's funny because the first meeting that I ever attended with him, that night I went home and launched my own company because I was just so inspired, but it also made me think that maybe I can do this, maybe I can succeed in this business on my own.
Okay, so you started from zero, and then you started MusicIsMyBusiness.
Correct.
We put your story on our website. We got a ton of questions.
Okay,
I gotta say,
good.
so many budding artists, so many budding executives. One from Misty who really wants to know, how did you actually raise the funds necessary to start this company? So you just said that you hung out with Sean Combs, you went home and you started it, but how'd you do that?
Well, when I first started my company, I had $0, and it was just a matter of me finding what was going to drive my company and what was going to drive my company revenue-wise. And for me, you know, the three components of the company: brand management, television, and film and music. It was the brand management component that drives the company because to work with brands and clients such as Heineken, United Nations World Food Program, and so forth.
Yeah, but that's now.
That's
when you
now.
first started, wasn't that scary?
Yeah, it was very scary. It was very scary because it's like you still don't know where your next check is going to come from, and you think you know more than what you know, and you're constantly going through challenges or making mistakes or having small failures, and it's kind of like, man, is this meant to be? But at the same token, there were so many things I always say that could have gone wrong that didn't. And just like when you're on the brink of like, okay, is this worth it? Something good will happen. And ironically, the first check that I ever got from my company came from some work that I did with Danity Kane. So it came around full circle.
So you listened to your heart.
Yes, follow my heart and trust my instincts always.
Other people want to know about how important networking is to this business. C wants to know, what are some tips that you would give to someone when it comes to networking and managing and building relationships within the entertainment industry? You said it came full circle,
right.
But you had to keep up those.
Right. Persistence. Until somebody tells you no, then that means you have a shot. And even when they tell you no, depending on how they tell you, you still might have a shot. And if that person tells you no, find somebody else, because all you need is one person to tell you yes. And again, just massaging those relationships and making sure, like, if I had $50 and, I would say, you know what, I'm going to take my mentor out to lunch because that mentor has done so much for me. Let me show some good faith and say, I understand business, I understand how it works. I'm going to take you out to lunch. And it's just a gesture. I mean, obviously the mentor could have paid for lunch, but just the fact that you offer versus them always having to take you out, I think speaks volumes and just your appreciation level for them.
Obviously, your mentors have been integral in your success right now.
Definitely.
Now that you have gotten past that initial scary stage, you have all sorts of different clients. What is your day-to-day work like?
It's pretty much almost, I say, 24/7. Sometimes like I'm sleeping with my BlackBerry, just because you don't want to miss that email or miss that call. Between that and the traveling and then managing my team.
You deal with budding artists?
Budding artists as well as major artists. On the brand side, like we're working with people like Bryan-Michael, who's a multi-Grammy award-winning writer and producer. And then, you know, the administrative things are just some of the things that you don't see with some of the most challenging, working with accountants, attorneys. Also
the UN.
Yes.
Talk to me about your work with the UN. We have a portion of that campaign. Why was that important to you?
It was important because obviously it was cause related, and I think in the midst of us trying to do other projects, I think it was cool that as a young company we were able to attach ourselves to a global initiative that is more relevant than ever due to global warming and world starvation. And it helped position us as a young company differently, because now we're attached to a global brand that is based out of Rome. And you know, how many young companies can say that in 2 years of existence?
Well, the person who rocks can probably do that. And you know, as somebody else, LaQuisha wants to know this, how are you changing the way business is conducted in the music industry? What do you see as the problem in the music industry, and how are you going to fix it?
I just think there's just a lack of experience as far as the experience attached to music. You know, music is supposed to inspire, provoke thought, and so forth. A lot of times when artists are put out, they're just, you know, they're put out, they shoot a video, place a song on radio, and then they're done. Like, the consumer doesn't have an opportunity to really grow with that artist and find out who that artist is. And that's just one of the things that I've always been good at. If I don't know how to do anything else, I know how to build brands. And that's what we plan on doing with not only the artists that we work with that are established, but also some of the young up-and-coming artists that we're working with as well.
So Sean Combs 2.0, that would be you. You would want to see more authenticity. Is it P. Diddy? It's Sean Combs.
I always refer to him as Mr. Combs.
Mr. Combs.
When I email him, I
do
say
the
Mr.
same.
Combs, you know.
So as the 2.0 version, you would want us to see more genuine artists and not all of this commercialization, not all of the fake branding.
Well, I just think it's all how you integrate it. I mean, the internet has bridged the gap, I always said, and you know, everything is so integrated. So whether it's an artist on the brand side, television, film, or just music, it just has to be, as you said before, authentic and executed properly.
And real.
And real.
So if you were looking at Aaron Arnold 5 years ago, what would you tell Aaron as your advice, and other young people who are looking at you and saying, I want to do the same thing?
5 years ago, I would tell him to keep doing the same thing, because I've been fortunate and blessed enough that it's got me to this point in a short period of time. And I would just always say, follow your heart and trust your instincts. If you make a mistake, make it on your own. Don't necessarily make a mistake on account of what somebody tells you to do. And I wouldn't change anything for the world, because it's funny, I've been doing this for a short period of time, but a lot of the people that I used to be fans of, I now have the opportunity to work with, and it's an amazing opportunity and amazing experience, to say the least.
Well, congratulations
to you,
Aaron Arnold, 29-year-old young person who rocks.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. By the way, you can read more of Aaron and his story by heading over to cnn.com/youngpeoplewhorock. Are you a young person doing amazing things? Do you know someone like Aaron? Well, you can nominate them at this website as well.